Have you ever noticed your teeth, when you smile, you actually start seeing like yellowing at the gum line? Or they look longer than you would want them to look? And then you call Elona and you're like, I want to whiten my teeth. And we see this all the time. Yes, we can most definitely whiten the teeth, although that yellowing isn't going to go away. So that yellowing is from the bone being lost. Usually that part of the tooth, it's called the root of the tooth, it is covered by bone and then gum tissue over the bone that is actually around the enamel of the tooth. And then the root, the yellow part, is embedded in bone and covered by gum tissue. And that can be lost over time. It actually becomes sensitive. Most people think that they overbrushed it, or even they get told that by hygienists and other dentists that you're brushing too hard, you need to, lay off the brushing. And then they're like, okay, I'm brushing too hard. Then they stop brushing, and it actually creates more of it. The problem is not overbrushing. The problem is uneven bite force distribution among the teeth that creates uneven, unbalanced pressure when you chew. And when that happens, the bone that normally supports the roots and has gum tissue over it has to mitigate the impact of that excessive bite force that's now traumatic. It's basically a chronic traumatic injury. And your bone is super strong. It's meant to last, and we're meant to have teeth for a lifetime, although it can only do so much under constant trauma, just like, things fail under constant trauma at some point. So eventually the bone just can't do that anymore, and then the ligaments that hold the tooth within the bone, they break, and you end up losing bone. When you lose bone, the gum tissue always follows where the bone is, and then you end up basically showing the roots. Or another reason why you could potentially have root exposure, sensitivity, and yellowing at the gum line is from uncontrolled gum disease, where there's so much bacteria, there's so much inflammation that the bone is actually being lost due to all that constant excessive bacteria around the teeth, and also the acids and the inflammatory process that becomes part of your body actually trying to defend itself against all that bacteria. And most of the time what we see is actually both. We see it's advanced or those excessive bite forces becoming now a reason why there is excess bacteria being collected around the teeth. The solution is not to just whiten your teeth. It is actually to protect the teeth from any further bone loss by adding what's been lost. So unfortunately, we can't just add bone onto those teeth most of the time. And what we can do is add gum tissue over it. So gum tissue, placing lost gum tissue over the teeth is called connective tissue grafting. It is done by a periodontist. It's a specialty procedure. At Inspire Smiles, we work with a periodontist, board-certified periodontist who does that. And that's going to be added where it's missing, and your teeth will be protected. The bone will be stabilized. The sensitivity that you might be having is going to be gone now, and your teeth actually will be healthier and stronger, and they will look better because now you won't have that yellowing showing. Connective tissue grafting is an amazing procedure. It does a lot of good, not only for the teeth, but also for the appearance, aesthetic part of the smile as well. Peggy is an amazing, beautiful human being. She's had veneers done years and years ago, and basically she came and she was like, Elona, can you please help me, because I see all this yellowing. They look, when I smile, there's like this yellow over the my veneers, so can you just redo my veneers? And with that, we couldn't just redo her veneers because we can't make them giant and long and just to cover that up. And the best way to solve her issue was to actually add the gum tissue that's been lost due to traumatic bite forces that she had. Correct the bite forces by me and have the periodontist actually cover everything with new gum tissue. It usually gets taken from the roof of the mouth, so it's taken from your own body, and it gets placed where it's been lost. And then we can just cover everything up. It does not need to be whitened, and you don't have to redo the veneers now. So everything is now back to original state of health, structural stability, and a beautiful aesthetic smile.